How John Frusciante joined the Chili Peppers. The information I'm going to read now is mainly in the book An Oral Visual History by the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Brendan Mullen. And now I am going to read what Anthony declared. I met John at a backyard barbecue. D.H. Peligro introduced us. He's like, you have to hear this kid. He's a teenager and a prodigy, loves Red Hot Chili Peppers like crazy, and can play all your songs on all different instruments. I remember going, wow, that's amazing. Someone is capable and likes us enough to learn and do that. I met him at the party and we had a nice talk. I thought he was a cool young dad, but I hadn't heard him play. Somehow he and Flea had a jam session in Flea's apartment, just the two of them. They had recorded some of it, and I think this was even prior to Blackbird. Flea said, this is kind of weird because I know we have a guitar player already, but this kid is more up our alley. We still hadn't hired him. And then I started hanging out with John a little, and he said, I got to go to audition for Thelonious Monster. And I'm like, cool, I'll drive you to Bob's garage. So I drove him to the audition, he got up there and killed it with the Monster. I'm like, I can't let him join the Monster. He's our guitar player. I've got to intervene now. It was like, we have to get this kid. I hate to do this to Bob, but we can't let him slip away. In some ways, Bob knew John was meant to be with the Chili Peppers. Bob was probably pissed off and frustrated that we were somehow stealing what could have been their great guitar player. But at the same time, I felt like there was an unspoken understanding of, I get it. This is your guy. Bob is generous in that way when he knows something is meant to be. He won't fight it. He's always been competitive, but always been very supportive. When it came time for Blackbird to go, Flea and I had been through so many hirings and firings with Jack Sherman and so on, that it was my turn to do the firing on this one. I called Blackbird and very earnestly explained why it wasn't panning out. But he took it out on me personally. He's like, motherfucker, Anthony, I'm going to burn your motherfucking house down. I'm like, whoa, I'm just the messenger here. Luckily, I didn't have a house to torch, but the menace of it was disturbing nevertheless.